What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hello Trash Garage channel. On today's episode, we're going to jump into the Porsche 928 LS swap and go over some of the, key aspects and goals and everything. So, with that being said, the goal is going to be to participate in Rocky Mountain Race Week 2021. It's not necessarily a deadline because, like a year away, more or less. So it gives us some time to build the car, to make sure everything works. This is my first time ever doing any engine swap or ground up build, which I want to do everything myself, bumper to bumper. If it needs it, I want to do it. If I can't, I really want to figure out why I can't. And if it's a tool I need, then wait a little bit to get that tool or whatever. The only thing that we're going to source out is going to be the actual LS swap kit, simply because someone's already done it. They, as far as I can tell, make a great kit, and it's going to be everything to bolt the motor up to the car, motor mounts, everything. And with this particular car, it's a transaxle, so that makes it a little bit harder in a sense of engine swap in my mind, because it's not an LS and a 4L60 or 4L80 or a T56. It's something that I am not very knowledgeable on, of getting an LS to bolt up to a transaxle that was from a Porsche. Just seems that much more complicated than most other, well, really any LS swap I've ever seen, because they got to just bolt the transmission to the engine and put it in. In our case, obviously that's not what's going to happen. So getting the adapter plate from the torque tube to the LS bell housing that they make for you, and then the splines for the clutch from Porsche input to the diameter the LS wants. And so other than those parts, because I don't even think anyone makes their own clutches for a swap or, bell housings or whatever. And if they do, kudos to them. But this is just going to be, that's going to be the one cheat code, if you will. It's just going to save me time, honestly. Like the trifecta is time, money, and effort. So if it comes down to those three things, then you have to really pick and choose which one you're gonna hit on, and that just seems the easier, smarter route. We already have the engine. It's an all aluminum 5.3. If I remember right, it came out of the Trailblazer, so it has the all-wheel drive oil pan set up. I do already have the Trailblazer SS intake, because everyone says it's the best stock intake system GM ever put on the LS series engines. The goal is to also turbocharge it. With that being said, that's going to lead into a couple things. One being the transaxle can only handle around 450 horsepower. They're plus or minus the same numbers in torque as well. So the 5.3 makes sense in my mind. It's light. Turboing it's going to make that goal numbers pretty easily. So refreshing the engine, and really, I don't even know if I'll probably do a cam, just because it's probably an old cam and I don't want to put a used one in it. But I'm not going to put a stage 3 cam in it and all this and that. I think the turbo alone is going to get us to that point. Injectors, I forget the throttle body it has on it, but I don't think anything minus injectors in the turbo, obviously a tune, is really much more needed than those couple of things. If we could handle more power, I'd obviously do all that, heads, so on and so forth, but it's just going to be pointless in my mind. I don't want to break that transmission, because they're not only scarce, but they're very expensive. So I'd rather have fun. It's going to be a super light car. These cars are, majority of it is aluminum, so along with the weight bias, I think it's going to be great at 450 horsepower. I had a 1986 Porsche 928 that unfortunately was totaled out by hail, which this was also in, you'll see here in a minute. It was a 5.0 all aluminum it's more or less a coyote engine before Ford ever even thought of it. You know, 5.0, dual overhead cam, all aluminum, but it was an automatic 4-speed, and I wished it had the 5-speed. I've never driven one of the manual cars yet, so I'll input something here just to give the video something kind of cool of the blue one, and like it's kind of like a anniversary of it, if you will. So here's those clips and a couple pictures. So now back onto this build. Yeah, with that being said, I'm excited to do it. I have had the car for like 5 years. I know I hate saying it, but you know, us car dudes get one project and then want another one and another one, and by the time you know, you have like 8 cars, and maybe it's just me, I don't know. But this one has been on my mind. We have a parts car for it. So if we need something, there it is. Some of the parts I already know we're going to need immediately, but then the other parts are just going to get sold off. I want to help other people that are restoring a 928 as well. With all that being said, let's show you the car and jump into the project. As you can see, still no engine. I just did a little bit more body work. I'm taking off the trim because I want to take this piece of glass out. You can actually like move it. It's so loose and it's got to get replaced anyway, so why leave it in and be like a potential hazardous problem. Still, you know, I did this a while back, just touching it up, some in there. I did some cleaning, like removing a bunch of adhesive. I'm just trying to make the inside just look more like all of that. I'm getting rid of all this sound debt and stuff, and if I need to put some back in, then I will, obviously. I do need to order the Renegade Hybrids LS swap kit. That should be coming, well, being ordered in the next month, and then it usually takes about a month to get to you because it's built to order. So it's pretty pricey, but once that gets here, it should be moving a lot better and a lot faster. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be going over like systems, so the brakes, the lights, I guess the electrical in general. I'm gonna be doing like body stuff. Just things to fill gaps, so I'm not just sitting here doing nothing waiting for that to arrive. But once it gets here, obviously we can look into, you know, the coolant system, wiring in the ECU, all that. As of now, I think we're going to go with the Mega Squirt 3. That's still kind of debatable, but for now I think that's what I'm going to go with, just because I've always wanted to try them. I like them. From like a spectator or outside point, I've never actually used one. I have a micro squirt, but I haven't actually used it yet. We are in the process of that build as well. But yeah, I mean, until the engine swap kit gets here, I just want to like work on all of the stuff that we'll need to like knock out. That whole electrical system needs to come out. I need to figure out what wires we need to keep or which ones need to be ran. Just like a lot of little things, you know. The whole car was gutted by the previous owner because I think he wanted the interior and the engine, but didn't really care for anything else, so that's how I got it. Speaking of, we need to put the transaxle back in and get all that mounted. Probably take off the wheels, go through some stuff, check like wheel bearings, and honestly the whole underneath of the car. I've never even been under it if I remember right. Cleaning up a lot of the stuff that you see. I mean, like I said, he didn't really want anything except the engine, so I'm gonna go through here and not only clean it, but figure out what we don't need, what we do need. It's just really just, he took it out and that was about it. So figure out like all of this, what it goes to, and we will go from there. But I just wanted to do like a quick catching up video and like, you know, not show progress or what I did so far kind of thing. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all for coming around and hanging out, checking out the new build. If you want to keep up with it and, you know, stay updated on it, please subscribe. If you liked what you see, by all means, I'd love a like. Till next time, keep turning those wrenches, and I'll see you later. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. What's going on, everyone? Welcome